What's up guys, good morning. My name is Robert Rushing. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a very special review. As you can see behind me, of the 5 different Rolls Royce vehicles, we've parked them here because we specifically wanted to highlight this crown jewel of a vehicle, the Rolls Royce Phantom. Our version is the Series 8, which is the newest iteration of what used to be called the world's best car. And depending on what you're looking for, this version of the Phantom might still carry that same title. Today I'm going to tell you why this car is so special, how unique it is, what it's like to drive, be driven, and how you can get behind the wheel for yourself. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Here at MPH Club, we actually have all of the Rolls Royce vehicles that are offered. If you ever want to get behind the wheel for yourself, here today you see the Phantom centered in the middle. Further to the right or your left, you'll see the brand new Rolls Royce Cullinan, and behind me is the Rolls Royce Dawn. Now, if you want to get behind the Ghost or the Wraith, you're only ever a phone call away, and you can find that information in the description below. Today we're talking about the Phantom. Right away, this car is impressive, has a huge size, and an incredible roadside presence. When you are driving next to this car, it is quite startling. Rolls-Royce as a company is prestigious for a bunch of reasons. Some is their wild, luxurious options. Another is how expensive their vehicles can get. The Rolls-Royce Phantom starts at an MSRP of $450,000. But with all Rolls-Royce models, that's just the floor, and the sky's the limit. There are infinite options and configurations you can do to personalize the Phantom into a truly special vehicle. Everything from colors to leathers to the stitching that connects all of these pieces together, even the size and the width of the stitches inside the Phantom you can customize. Now inside there's even a glass wall over the dash we'll show you later where you can have your own art piece commissioned inside the car itself. The sky truly is the limit, and a car like this, one of the more specific Rolls-Royce features is the gorgeous starlit headliner. Even those headliners can be customized to the specific day and time and how the sky looked when you were born, or where you made your first million, or when you simply placed your first order for the Phantom. This is not a regular vehicle. Cars in this category, many people will go their entire lives without even seeing. It's truly special that we have a car like this on the channel. When comparing the different Rolls-Royce models, you'll see right off the bat that the Cullinan and the Phantom are a lot more similarly shaped. Even though the frame of this car is literally bigger, it's based on the same platform. Now the car, like the Dawn, is based on the same platform as the Wraith, and those you can tell from a distance. They look like a very similar car, one being a convertible, one not. But the Phantom is truly in a category of its own. Our Rolls Royce Phantom is totally blacked out. Every single detail and option has been selected to black out this car both on the exterior and the interior, and that's what I want to show you right now. Now we're sitting in the back of the Phantom, where most owners of a car like this will be riding. When you're in this tier of vehicle, it almost always comes with a driver. So majority of the owners are being driven around and chauffeured around in a car like this. And every single surface is wrapped in wildly premium materials. These leather seats are the comfiest I think I've ever sat in. The carpeting all around the car is wool, and the luxury doesn't stop there. If you want to close the door from the back seat, all you have to do is press this button right here, and once you're holding it, the door actually automatically closes for you. Now, there's a lot more features to go over in this car. Just sitting from right here, you do have your own passenger controls, heating and cooled seats. This center armrest is really cool. You have cup holders here. Your seat reclining feature is built into the armrest. You have a little extra storage space here, but this is magic. Once you pull this tab, it exposes the fridge where you can store a bottle of champagne and lock in your own champagne flutes. Everything you could possibly need is right here for the perfect chauffeur experience. From the camera's position, I'm sure you can see that the headrests even come with their own Rolls Royce pillows. It's wildly comfortable. Moving along. The Rolls Royce Phantom has its own bespoke audio system, which sounds incredible, and you can see this gorgeous metal design built into this giant door. Now, you can't ignore the starlit headliner, and this is a specific starlight sky from a specific night in a specific place. If you don't pick and choose your own starlit headliner, the default is actually the sky from the factory in Goodwood, England, where Rolls-Royce had its 50th anniversary. That is the default sky and where this constellation comes from. But many owners often pick the sky where they were born, or maybe where their child was born, or when they made their first million. It's a very special and specific touch that you can do to the interior of your Rolls-Royce. Like we said earlier, the sky's the limit. You can literally customize this car to be whatever it is that you want. Ours is totally blacked out. We think it's very sleek, very classy, and it's very popular for chauffeurs, and it's very popular amongst the upper epsilon of our clientele. Like, not just anyone can afford to drive or rent or experience a Phantom. It's a special experience. Okay, now we're sitting in the front seat, and just like in the back, all the materials, anything you could possibly touch, is wrapped in wildly premium materials. The leather is crazy soft. This wood dash is great. This huge panel has a big glass cover, and the first things you'll notice are your giant display dash in the center, your digital dash, which is designed to look analog, and then your actual analog clock embedded in the dash, in the gorgeous Phantom font. And behind the word Phantom, you'll see this piece of wood. This is where you could have your own custom art piece commissioned into the car. For us, it's just a classy piece of wood right here. But again, everything you see or can touch here is really premium. Even the AC controls, these vents are metal and like rather heavy. And to turn off and on these vents, all you have to do is push and pull these organ-styled pins. Now even your shift selectors, like this is your volume knob, this is metal and it's wrapped in leather, so anywhere your fingers touch, premium. Right below that you have all of your controls for the entertainment system, then you have your AC controls below that. This is where you can control your wind speed. And what's funny about the AC controls in Rolls-Royce cars is there's no temperature or number specified. All you have are these two colors, whether you want red for warm or blue for cold, which is pretty cool. The buttons in between give you access to the seat heater, seat cooler, then the steering wheel heater, and then the passenger seat controls. To operate your center display dash, you have this hidden controller here. Your actual knob is kind of reminiscent of other BMW cars. Keep in mind, Rolls-Royce is owned by BMW, and other than this one selector and maybe the windshield wiper, nothing else about this car is similar to BMW's. This is how you cycle through the different menus and applications on the Phantom. On this same console is where you can press the button to adjust the ride height, whether you want to be in a higher or a lower setting. Your steering wheel is massive, and it feels kind of like a boat controller. Driver's seat also has a button to close the doors itself. The doors on the Rolls-Royce Phantom are huge and they're heavy, so these buttons come in really handy. I think that about wraps up immediately what you see off the bat in terms of sitting in the driver's position of the Phantom. So next what I want to talk about is what it's like to drive and get on the road. So now we are driving in the Rolls-Royce Phantom, and thinking about the different people that would usually be sitting in this position, I know are mostly chauffeur drivers. People that own the Phantom are not typically driving it. But this position reminds me of Starlight Spotlight, which is a show of ours on YouTube, I can link down below, where we invite celebrities to sit in the back and we ask them questions about their favorite cars, their own stories with luxury and exotic vehicles. And if you haven't checked it out before, make sure you do so. But like all Rolls-Royces, the suspension is insanely smooth. There are active dampeners. It's an air ride suspension. It feels like you're moving on a cloud. But everybody knows that about Rolls-Royce already. What you might not know is that when the transmission shifts gears, it's doing so based proactively from information they get from a satellite system, which sounds crazy, but what I'm trying to tell you is there's a satellite system tracking where you're driving in a Phantom at all times, and it uses what road you're on and that information to better shift for you. So it's not waiting for the RPM meter to rise too high or too low. It's already thinking about the road, the speed limit, what's happening in front of you before you even get there. A word that people use to describe the Phantom often is effortless, and that's just another way of confirming just quite so effortless this car is. The car does a lot of the thinking for you. Now, it is a V12 twin turbo engine, so it does have power. You're not gonna be racing a vehicle like this, but if for some reason you have, say, some VIPs sitting in the back and you have to make a getaway, you can. You have the power to do so. Even though this vehicle weighs more than 3 tons, this twin-turbo V12 delivers smooth power whenever you want it. It's really hard to find any type of complaints about this car. I know in a review, you really should talk about the pros and the cons. The only con I can really come up with is it's expensive. This vehicle is so rare, so limited, and so luxurious that not many people will ever see it or get to touch it or drive in it or be driven in it. That just goes to show just quite how special of an experience it is being in this car. One time with this specific car, we had a VIP client that could not fit in the rest of the cars in our fleet. This being the largest vehicle, definitely the largest in our fleet, but maybe the largest vehicle I could even think of. We collaborated with Shaquille O'Neal for his House of Shaq a while back, and he got a custom wrap because this is the only car that a guy like that can fit in. This car's got a lot of cool stories. And if you've been following MPH Club for a while, you've probably seen it in our media before. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we are the only exotic car rental company with a Rolls Royce Phantom. Let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure we hold that title. So just like the suspension, crazy light as a feather, even though you're driving a heavier than 3-ton vehicle, handling in this car is wild. You literally could drive with just your pinky. It is so light. It's scary how easy it is to control this car. Controlling more than 3 tons with your pinky is wild. It kind of feels like you're disconnected from the actual activity of driving such a big vehicle, such a heavy, big black chunk of metal, but it just adds to the luxurious nature of this car. Okay guys, this completes our review of the Rolls Royce Phantom Series 8. I want to say thank you so much for watching this content. If you like the videos, please give us a thumbs up. It helps the growth of our channel a lot. Now, it's really special that we get to review this car for you today. If you have any questions about it that weren't covered in this review, you can either comment them down below or reach out to one of our sales representatives today. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.